Welcome back to Disco Elysium! We just kicked the door!
You are way too happy about kicking this door.
Yes!
Oh, God. Stuff. Look upon me in
Officer.
despair.
It's a fine day for questions.
8% chance on that.
Oh, definitely not. I would like to hear more about this so-called assault.
Not my favorite topic, but okay.
It must have been hard for you seeing him there.
Oh, yes. I've had a great view. From the roof, out of the bathroom window, in my dreams.
A bitter cringe. It hurts. You look to the lieutenant. He takes a small step closer.
You called us, the RCM.
Yes.
The call reporting the hanging, that was you?
I made it. And I would appreciate it if you didn't tell everyone. In Martinez, they call it snitching.
Reporting crimes is confidential in Ravachol, miss.
Before we go on, if it's snitching, then why do you do it?
Because I couldn't handle it anymore. None of these people called. He just kept hanging there. Then they started stripping him.
The caller's voice was disguised.
I didn't exactly disguise it. I just muffled the mic and nicked the landline a little.
Nicked it? How?
With nail clippers. And I diverted some radio fuzz into it. Into the cold wire.
Which landline?
The one downstairs, officer. I used the whirling landline.
That's some clever tampering. Simple and clever. Crossing the lines like that.
It seems like you had some idea. That was nifty!
Thanks.
Who uses nifty these days?
Someone that's in the 50s.
Or you mean 50?
Also, maybe, yep.
Why go through all the trouble?
I don't know, sir. It was stupid. I was drunk, too. I was probably afraid the union was listening in. Locals say they have ears in the wires.
Thank you for making the call, miss. It was the right thing to do.
I didn't want to, sir. But if I hadn't, he'd still be hanging there.
Thank you for telling all this,
How about
miss.
we, change the subject to something more lighthearted now.
Oof. I'm sorry, but now that you have some time, could you tell us more about the victim?
Like, for example, his name?
Actually, officer, I didn't know his name. I just called him Lely.
A nickname?
I guess. He came from Lelystad. It's short for that. And it was his army name, apparently. He said his real name wasn't his. I tried to pry it out of him, but it was no use.
Lelystad. That's a good start.
The lieutenant writes it down in his notebook.
We have a few questions you can help us with. A few things a field autopsy alone can't answer.
The young woman cranes her neck, trying to catch a glimpse of the page the lieutenant passed to you. On it is a list of autopsy observations, recorded neatly in blue ink. The last missing pieces of a puzzle of flesh.
He had a tattoo. What did it mean?
Oh, that.
What did it represent? You know?
It was a map of his life and the places he visited as a soldier. It was mostly for showing off to chicks, though.
For showing off to chicks? How so?
How? Imagine him lying in bed. Freakish musculature laid out on the sheets. Scarred, of course. Tattooed. The sheets are dirty for some reason. He's smoking and drinking, of course. And his chest and shoulders and arms are studded with stars. Tens, hundreds of them. Maybe even thousands. And the woman goes like, "What was this, baby?" And he says, "That was too hardcore. Don't ask me about that." So she goes, "Okay, What's this, baby? And he's like, saw some bad shit there. Killed some loincloths. And so it goes. Star after star. Port after port. Third world country after third world country. And he's done horrible things in every single one of them.
You with him in it?
Oh, yeah.
Could you tell us precisely what this means? Hand her the photo.
No, thank you. I've seen enough of him dead. I can tell you what they meant without looking at them.
She pours herself some more coffee.
Go on.
He was a blue-eyed boy with thick arms, from a small town. He was also poor, and the government of Oranje needed some people killed, so they turned him into a grotesque killer. For money. He went to Killer Academy in Vredefort. Then he killed some people on the Seminine Islands, and on other islands too. All of the islands. After this, he came to Revachol and got killed himself.
And not a very fun story.
It is when you're high. It can be very exciting then. You have the tools to deal with it. It's not a very nice story to remember when you're sober. A change of topic?
Could you believe that love did him in?
It very well could be, yes.
What do you mean?
What do I mean? I have no idea. I don't even know what you mean. Love did him in? What does that mean?
He told me love did him in.
That's not funny, officer.
Her voice is like a slash through the air. Her shoulders tense up.
How old was he, miss?
He was 42.
42? Are you sure? I would have had him above 50.
He had many scars that made him appear older. But no,
The memory makes her smile.
we even celebrated his birthday like some weeks ago. It was a funny surprise. He had little reason to lie to me.
We were slightly off then. Thank you for clearing it up.
The lieutenant makes a correction in his notes.
A miss. The adversary one.
His eyes were blue?
Yes. Light blue. They were like little blue galaxies. It was strange, seeing those eyes in his fucked up face. Pardon the swearing. I do him an injustice. He wasn't ugly. And he had a beautiful, soft voice. Very surprising, what with all the scarring. It was quite something, watching him speak.
He had a combat wound on his chin and mouth.
Yes. Severe. It made him look like half his face was cracking away in some strange smile. That and those eyes.
Ah, yes. His hair, if you can remember.
It was light brown, almost blonde. He darkened it with brilliantine, made oily. Not nice to stroke. I couldn't convince him to leave it alone.
Where is Lelystad? The place, I mean.
In Oranje, officer. It's, I think municipality is the term. A nowhere town there.
You were almost right, officer. That means his race was occidental, not mondial. I'll update the form.
You were Primoranje?
Yes. We were compatriots.
Did that bring you together?
No. He was too old for that. And from another part of Oranjenrijk. I didn't even understand his accent. What brought us together wasn't Oranje. It was bad habits.
Sex, alcohol, speed, probably also sildenafil. No love for Mother Oranje, but wasn't he a soldier? This could be worth pursuing.
No need to get political!
The young woman is smiling, still, about their bad habits.
I think we're finished with this line of questioning.
All right.
The lieutenant puts the slip back into his notes and observes the young woman for a moment.
Coolly, gracefully, She pours herself more coffee.
Nope, still 8%.
Let's return to this later, miss.
Wait, stop. That man, bloated beyond all recognition, was 42?
It's what she said, yes.
Below the damage, the weeks of decomposition, all the swollen indignity of mortality. He was 42 years old?
Oh, where is this going?
How old are you? That's where this is going. 45,000 liters of raw alcohol has left its disfigurements. What lies beneath, you wonder? You could ask either one of them.
Kim, how old do you think I am?
Huh?
Lieutenant isn't quite sure he heard you.
How old do I look?
How old? 58?
Oh my god! That's really old! Really?
You asked.
He shrugs.
What if you're wrong? We're both wrong about the deceased. He turned out to be 40.
42. And he was deceased. He had been decomposing for a week.
Probably 62.
I felt like I've been decomposing longer than that.
On the bright side, you've been getting a lot of exercise lately.
The ravages of Al Ghul are nearly as extreme as the death itself, Lieutenant Kasaragi.
There's silence. Then a little more.
Sure, you're 42. Let's go?
Wait. This requires scientific measurements.
Bring it on! I'm not afraid of the truth!
To the laboratorium.
Date of birth generator. How old are we?
Equip?
Not enough space right now.
Oh.
Your face looks like it's 58, and your body feels like it's 60. Your mind feels like it's lived for 1 day or 100. Both longer than they ought to be. And the day and the century, but for how long? Then has this thing attached to your sentience walked the planet's... Wow, okay. But for how long, then, has this thing attached to your sentience walked the planet's crust? Time to start racking those brains of yours, Elder One. When and where were you born?
Huh.
I guess you go back down.
Huh.
Alright, what else do we have going on? What else do we gotta do yet? We still haven't convinced Titus. Ask another about the tattoo's possible meaning.
So to gain progress in the game, and I'm making like progress in quotes, we'll have to talk to her more.
Maybe. You'll have to probably pass that check.
Oh.
Or at least, attempt it. Because I don't know if you can fail your way. I don't know how it works. Sometimes you can fail your way to success.
Wait. Fail my way to success.
For instance, it can open up another pathway to maybe getting the same information you would have got it had you succeed.
Oh.
Just,
Okay.
a longer, more roundabout way of getting to it.
Okay, so maybe if we don't have it by midday through morning of day 3, we'll talk to her.
Mm-hmm. How
And-
close are we anyway to the next 55?
And what do we need for that?
For what?
For her check.
Volition. Which we're
Oh.
at 3 right now.
Okay.
We could go see what, I think his name was Sabak? The dude that was selling stuff, see what he's got laying around still.
Yeah. But do we have anything to sell first?
I think we do. We have at least one postcard, if I recall.
Hello again. How can I help you?
Oh yeah, we could see if he's doing anything there.
Sure.
Feeling warm and enthralled by the movement of light, while the mind continues to race forward. Lucky bastard. He's probably on Pyrolidon. It's tough to come by on the street.
Pyrolidon? What's that?
A drug developed by the military to treat and prevent radiation sickness. It has psychedelic side effects, and it makes your eyes turn yellow.
Is it warm in here? Or is it just me?
I try to keep the shop at a comfortable temperature.
No judgment. It's pretty obvious you're under the influence, sir.
Pyrolidon is just something since the People's Power disaster.
He causes this to mark his words.
I was with the Emergency Relief Brigade. Had to take it for radiation sickness.
He's taken it for mental and emotional, not physical pain these days.
How did you end up running the pawn shop?
The cleanup happened 15 years ago. I was young then. Later, my second aunt died. Left me this shack and all the assorted junk in it. So I came to Martinez. People told me don't go there. It's a shithole. I said, people, we just had a nuclear pile meltdown. I'm gonna get as far away from Forburg as I can. Still in the same city, but...
The People's Pile? What's that?
a bad idea. Some poor leftist built a particle decay generator in hopes of bringing affordable electricity to underserved communities. It malfunctioned. Radioactive waste everywhere. Probably some of it in you, too.
It must have been tough, radioactive cleanup.
There's a reason why everyone's tried to forget any of it ever happened. And why no one has tried to repair or replace the pile. So much disappointment. And early deaths. Cancer mostly. And we knew all that was coming even as we were cleaning up as best we could.
Whose fault do you think the generator failed?
No one's. Everyone's.
He sighs and shakes his head.
So much bitterness.
A bunch of poor people built themselves a primitive nuclear reactor, hoping for the best. What do you think is going to happen?
Tell me more about this emergency relief brigade you were part of.
We were an all-volunteer force, self-organized, tried to help the fire brigades contain the spill.
On the patch, gamma radiation lines crossed with a red drop of blood. Tough son of a gun, this one. Respect.
I lived by the river since I was a small boy. The Esperance didn't have the art to let it all go to shit without trying to do something to help out. There wasn't much the volunteer force could do, however. We wasted years in the river mud. Years getting sick.
He looks at the spiraling light and stops.
Thank you for telling me.
I like the theory more than the story. Outward movement, not vortices.
Yeah, you gotta get in on those vortices, my man.
I have other business to take care of now. Number 6?
Yeah, but we want to sell stuff.
Oh,
Sure.
I forgot.
Let me have a look.
Let's see here.
Anything else you're thinking of selling?
Empty
Not that one.
cassette case. Would we need that for anything?
We might. I'm not sure.
Okay. So let's hang
I'm
on
not
to it.
purchasing any more clothing at the moment. Anything else you're thinking of selling?
There it is.
Yeah. Postcard.
Upon the postcard, we have the lieutenant's handkerchief, the photo of a happy couple. Oh yeah, we never talked to him about this, did we?
No.
Plastic headless phone ladder says top is equally plastic bull. His posture, indicating either desperation or pride, comes with a set of infamous fallen cap for which he lost his head. The head is not included. Yep, that was the only thing we have to sell right now.
Another time.
We didn't get to talk to Renee and ask him about his pretty picture. Oh, no, did we? I think we did,
Yeah.
actually.
I believe we did.
Sealang!
You keep coming back.
Save the economy? That sounds off.
There's that windbreaker. That's composure.
Save the economy? What are you talking about?
Haven't you heard, officer? We've got to be economically conscious. Recycle your cash, keep it in circulation. Don't buy new things. Buy eco.
Thanks for the advice. I'll try to be more economically conscious.
Very cool. The economy thanks you, officer.
Well,
That was the box.
Was I say,
You
bro, the
find your
box.
hands deep in tattered. The box smells like cat piss. You're like an old person with no money.
Economical, but also trendy. Look first hand, buy second hand. Keep
Okay.
the economy moving.
So the only thing there is this windbreaker at the moment. Do.
The
Does
shine
his
of these
supply
sunglasses
change from
lasts
day
a
to day?
lifetime, officer.
No, I don't think so.
100%
We're
guaranteed.
still locked out of this one. We could take the ugly glasses, but that's just more electrochem.
Everything's still cool here, officer.
Persuade him to give you money.
No.
Food packages?
The food packages have humanitarian aid written on them. How come?
You mean these delicious pre-packaged shelf-stable meal kits? Really easy to cook, no hassle, really cheap too. Buy some, try them out.
No hassle. There's a little of a hassle here, it appears. A moral hassle.
I think one said not for resale on the packaging.
No problem here, officer. I get all this from one of my suppliers, an extremely reputable guy.
And who is your supplier exactly?
Oh, he's a good guy. I think you'd get along. I'll let you know the next time he's around.
Interesting.
Are there some choices that
Ooh, that
give-
evened it out.
Ooh, are there some choices that will give us instant experience? Because that 5 EXP came across rather fast as compared to the last one.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, the other one was a quest. This is something that dialogue, I guess.
No,
gave us
no,
XP
no,
for
no, no, like-
finding out.
No, and the last dialogue experience.
I don't know.
Okay, so you don't know if there are some dialogue options that will instantly grant experience?
There could be. I have no idea for sure.
Ah, okay.
All right, so he's at 58% with this one. Do we want to try this one? Actually, I think we have stuff for rhetoric.
Okay.
Hold on. Concept. That's negative on the rhetoric.
Oh,
I think
I
we were
get- I
looking
think
for
they're all
rhetoric
negative.
before. Yeah. Yep. And we have nothing that's on permanently boosting or negativing it. So yeah, we're at
Everything's
58.
still cool here, officer.
let's wait. It's Let's wait on it.
Alright.
Let's wait until we buy another thing from him. It's like, hey, I gave you money. Now give me my money back.
Why can I talk to the bench?
The worn and beaten wooden planks of the bench do not look overly comforting.
We can sit on benches after we've solved the murder. Let's go.
Aw.
Come on, you guys look tired. Sit on me. I'm a happy bench. Tell me about your life story.
I don't. What the hell's this?
I'll just
Oh, the
smile
thing was
and
just glitching.
nod.
I don't think we've talked to this lady at all.
Okay.
Yeah, you just left, I think.
I think we tried talking to her, but something happened, and
I don't know, because this is the only one that's like
okay.
shadowed.
What are you
shadowed.
doing?
Looking for something to read.
She averts her attention to the worn out paperback.
Phenomenal.
It is.
I'm a policeman.
I know you are.
Everyone can see that. The rectangles.
He points to his sleeve. Everyone can see that, you idiots.
Leave.
Look,
Leave.
look, I'm gonna tell you right now because I can tell you're just gonna avoid this unless I tell you.
No,
You keep...
no. I was going to go. I was going to go back in, but leave and now go back.
Wow, now it stops us. We can't do anything now.
Oh shit.
Well, fuck. I don't know if she's still gonna offer us something later or not.
What was it?
It would have been a whole quest, and now we might have just gotten locked out of it.
Oh. Oh, damn. Oh well. My craziness screwed me over again!
Yeah, I mean, he... Oh, man, Tricolor Llama. He's not wrong. It is the densest book he's ever experienced.
Yes?
Alright, well, I don't know what we can really do now as far as moving things along at the moment.
This is the
Um.
craziest thing I've experienced in a while, Tricolor Llama. And since this is supposedly written by an author, once his book is translated into English, I am potentially going to pick it up.
I severely want to read it. I'm very curious. We haven't talked to her since she came in. The other thing that we could do, because I don't think we can really progress anything from the quests at this point, based on what we have, unless we want to gamble on getting, you know, Kuno to do anything with us.
Kuno!
What we could do is maybe buy a book, or I know there are board games in here, and we could do something with that that'll burn some time. So we're not gonna be sitting here the whole time just waiting for time to take over.
Sure, let's buy a board game.
I think they're here in the center
A
one.
small mountain of colorful board game boxes. There are numerous types of games for all ages. A lot of shelf space seems to be taken up by Wirral-related merchandise.
Doorkeep, what board games do you have here?
Pip Pip.
Wonderful board games, sir. The Viticulturist is a classic for sure, or perhaps you'd like Archipelagos of Insulinda, a very educational game for those interested in geography.
I forget if books or games, maybe both. Maybe they might actually boost stats. I'm not sure.
Browbritter is a fun game of economic competition, but can get quite intense after a while. We have games for the whole family. You can play with your children.
Who are you going to play board games with? Do you have friends or family?
Do I have friends? Slowly look at Kim.
No, you are not my friend.
Are you actually friends? Or just colleagues thrown together by circumstance?
Yes, kids, friends, chicks. I have all of those. All of the above.
Man, officer, children are the greatest of treasures.
She fiddles with a pendant and thinking.
For playing with friends, I'd recommend Suzerainty. It's a civilization building game where you build a civilization, then set off to brutally colonize and repress other civilizations. It'll cost 12 real.
Sounds just like modern America.
Do you have Civ 6 the board game?
They're not, it's not wrong. Although Civ has other options that don't involve just destroying other societies.
Do you have Killer Bunnies and the Journey to Jupiter?
You could do that, or you could look at the books too and see what those are.
Let's buy the board game.
Wonderful choice, sir. A wholesome family game.
A wholesome family game about conquering.
Ah, wholesome, yep. Leave?
Leave?
Alright, let's get out here. We can chat up Kim, and maybe, just maybe, we can convince him to play a game with us.
Yay!
Alright. Kim! Akimbo!
Yes?
Nope. Never mind. Gotta do it from the inventory then.
Oh.
There it is.
In your hands, you hold a brand new copy of the game, Suzerainty. It's snugly wrapped in a skin of plastic. The cover features a charming illustration depicting a mass of grinning laborers loading goods onto a ship, while a richly dressed administrator oversees their work.
The plastic wrap.
The plastic wrap rips off as easily as a bodice in a tawdry historical romance.
That's a sexy description. Open the box.
There's a hiss as the lid slides off. Inside, you find a thick, full-color rulebook and more than a dozen pouches of various wooden components.
Wait, hold on. The rulebook is full color?
Yeah!
Damn, that's a fancy game. It was really worth the 14 real.
12.
12.
Man, it sure feels good to just, open up a brand new board game. Just the freshness of it.
Yeah.
Savor that new board game smell.
Ah!
A mix of wood, paper and ink, all wrapped in the sweet must of cardboard.
Perception gets it.
Read the rulebook.
Welcome to Suzerainty, a game of economic strategy for the whole family. The rulebook is sumptuously illustrated and thick as a Gradian novel.
I'm going to assume that's very thick.
Finally, A proper game to teach children about the importance of trade and the global economy.
The colorful illustrations depict cheerful workers picking apricots, hauling marble sculptures out of crumbling temples, and harvesting a strange magenta-leafed plant. Everyone is smiling. You begin to suspect there may be a political agenda to this so-called family game. Only one way to find out.
Oh my god.
Keep reading.
The instructions are opaque at first, and introduce many concepts you're not familiar with. Fortunately, there are many diagrams and examples throughout. You soon figure out the basic conceit. Each player represents an administrator for the suzerain of Revachol. Your objective is to increase the suzerain's wealth and renown by accumulating victory points.
Okay.
How do you accumulate victory points?
I do like victory.
That's where the suzerain's vassals come in.
I
The
think
game
everybody
features
likes
4 vassal
victory.
nations, each one home to an economically important resource.
Yes, but do you like Victorine and his melon dance?
You know,
Each turn, the player collects resources from vassals where they've placed workers. They may then rearrange their workers, fulfill contracts for coin and bonuses, or build structures back in Revachol.
it's been a while since I had an apricot. I should really pick up some sometime.
I can't remember the last time I had one. I've had apricot flavored things, but I don't think I've had an apricot, the fruit itself, in a while.
Yeah, I'm more of a peach plum kind of guy, but I could go for an apricot.
What kind of fruit would you go for, Tricolor Llama?
If you're still here.
I don't think he left.
Oh well.
Okay, so each place... They then rearrange the workers, fulfill contracts for coin bonuses, or build structures back in Revachol. Okay,
As
alright.
you leaf through the pages, your eye catches on a sidebar labeled Advice for Beginners.
Read the advice.
Remember, there are many paths to victory in suzerainty, but successful players will find one strategy and commit to it wholeheartedly.
Alright.
Boring, boring, boring. Tear up this rulebook and commit some old school atrocities.
How is the winner determined?
The actual scoring system appears infinitely complex, with a series of tables and appendices required to compute each player's final victory point total. You skip that part for now.
Examine the components.
Come on.
You
There we
open
go.
up a number of pouches containing wooden tokens. There are also several punch boards with other cardboard components that will need to be punched out before you can play.
Punch out the cardboard pieces one by one.
Oh god, it's almost like popping
Each
bubble
cardboard
wrap.
token makes a satisfying as you pop it out.
Ooh.
A pile of cardboard coins and counters has accumulated before you.
What? You're not going to offer to let me punch any of them out?
No, it's mine. I enjoy
I'm
it
so-
more.
I'm sorry, Kim. I thought I was the only one with the weird punching out cardboard fetish. Check out the cardboard tokens, wooden tokens.
In addition to the worker and building tokens used by each player, there are also several piles of colorful resource tokens, each representing one of the game's 4 principal resources.
Okay.
From the Empire of Safre, orange apricot tokens. From Ilmarat, the ancestral name of Ilmara, grey marble block tokens. From the Seminine Islands, white sacks of sugar tokens. And from Supramuindi and Sarah Maritza, magenta tokens for unprocessed cocaine leaves.
Oh, those are nice.
Lieutenant picks up the sugar token and admires it.
Put the components away.
Give me that back, Kim. I'm putting it in the box.
You hold the open game box before you.
Hey, Kim. Wanna
Do
play?
we want to double check if there's anything in the rulebook we might
Okay.
not have looked at yet?
Welcome to Suzerainty.
Yeah, economic
a
strategy
game
we
of
didn't.
economic
Okay.
strategy for the whole
More like
family.
auspicious
The rule
plunder and
is sumptuously illustrated.
exploitation.
Illustrations depict cheerful workers picking apricots, hauling marble sculptures out of crumbling temples, and harvesting a strange magenta-leafed plant. You begin to suspect, then the instructions are. You soon figure out the basic conceit. Each player represents an administrator for the suzerain of Revachol.
Fuck the
That's where
suzerain?
Oh, well, let's do this
each
one
turn,
first, 'cause I
as
think
you
there's
leaf
other-
through the pages. Remember,
Device.
boring, boring, boring. Tear up this rulebook and commit some
Is there
old
any
school
way to...
Suzerainty
Okay.
is a family
Sorry.
game. The only atrocities you'll be committing are against the social standing of your rival administrators, as you bring in ever more resources and power for the suzerain. Speaking of, the actual scoring system appears
All right, well,
infinitely complex.
It doesn't
Hey,
look like
Kim.
there's
Series of
anything-
tables and
Wanna
appendices
play?
required to compute. The lieutenant looks over the rulebook before he sees something that makes his eyes go wide.
Holy shit. The average playing time for this game is 1 to 6 hours. I'm not sure we can afford to set aside that kind of time.
Ooh, I know we have some ways to suggest on Kim.
Okay.
Hold on. -1.
Come on.
Drama.
Come on.
There's one.
Okay. Come on.
We've only got the one.
Uh,
Nothing else is dropping? No. Well, let's see where we're at.
Yes?
Right. I keep forgetting. I gotta go through freaking the item to do it.
The suzerainty box is heavy
42%.
and slightly awkward in your hands. You give it a light shake and feel the pieces shift around
let's
inside.
do this.
Come on, Kim. Yeah!
Objectively,
Hey!
not an elaborate game. You
Come
need
on.
logical
It
inference,
might help us think of
attention
a
to
more
detail,
creative solution to the
ability
case.
analyze your opponent's motives.
I do feel like my thinking has become somewhat rigid. Maybe a little diversion to keep the mind limber is just what's in order.
See? He's doing the hard work himself. All he needed was a little nudge.
Let's go, Kim.
Alright, you've convinced me. How do we play?
I read the rules already. I'll show you.
You explain the basic setup procedures to the lieutenant, who seems to be a quick study. You each take your bag of tokens and counters and unfold the board between you. In the center is the crown of Revachol. Radiating outward are her colorful vessels, each one supplying some raw material desired by the suzerain. Apricots from Safre, archaeological treasures from Ilmarat, sugars from the Seminine Islands, and magenta cocaine from Supra Muindi and Sarah Maritza. There's also a neat little log to keep track of your progress in case you need to put the game away and return to it later. The lieutenant goes first. He draws a contract card and moves several of his workers to the Safre territory of the board, and the others to the Seminine Islands.
Alright, detective, your turn.
You have a few options available to you. Will you try to fulfill contracts right away, or rearrange your workers to maximize production on future turns?
Holy
Remember
shit!
what
Is
the rulebook
is
said.
is this a
You will
gameception?
choose
Are we
a
playing?
stay committed to.
Are we playing a board game within this game?
We're playing Monopoly. You draw a chance card. It tells you to play Monopoly in the game.
You know, my mind is so blown. I might need a few days to think about what
Oh,
to do
boy.
next. So, on the next episode of Disco Elysium, we will be playing a board game.
Let's see if we can be total conquesters here.